Well, welcome to Music Theory 101. Actually, I think a better name would be Music Theory 0. Basically, we're going to start at the basics, and you're going to learn some stuff throughout the way, and we'll see how it goes. So, let's start with the first, most simple question of them all. What is music? And that might sound like a more simple question, but it's actually very complex. The reason I think it's actually a complex question is that what actually makes music? I mean, I would be in a car, let's say, listening to some uh, folk music, not folk music. I'd be listening to some, let's say, indie rock by this band called Hey Nothing. Pretty cool band, I think. And someone else could listen and say, that's terrible. Like, why? What is this sound? What is this breathiness? What is this distortion? Right? If we went back to the 1700s and showed them, Skillet or, Alice in Chains, what would they think? They would say, this is not music. What is good music? What is bad music? But before we go looking at that, what is good music? What is bad music? What is music? If I snap my thumb, snap my fingers right here, just randomly, right? We're getting some sound here, but it's not compelling, right? So, but if there's some sort of regular and intentionality to it, there's something. So I would say that music is the combination of intentionally arranged sounds, basically. Theoretically, you could have something that's really not put well together, and people talk about it as if this is great music. And that's what some people say about Jacob Collier in some of his songs, and I see what they're saying. It sounds random. Though, if I look at the transcriptions, like the June Lee transcription of what song is it? With the Love in My Heart, you start to see that it's actually incredibly intentional what's going on there. One example of something that's not intentional, that's super intentional but sounds not intentional at all, is the Boulez piano etudes. We were supposed to listen to this for an assignment, and just very, very dissonant. Um, it's hard to follow any certain motifs. Yeah. Yeah, but let's get back on track. If I go back to the original question, right, is that music? Yeah, it is music. It's intentional. The composer is having intention in there with what he's writing. And it's music. Technically, I'd say it's not music. It's just noise. Music should be compelling. It should compel something. That's why Ludovico Einaudi, okay, this is just a random pull, but let's say Ludovico Einaudi, who was a minimalist pianist from our era, he wrote, I think one famous one is the Experience, which the sorry, I'm trying to figure that out by ear, but that is a very, very simple song. All it starts off is this. So, and he just builds very slowly, very slowly. And it's very intentional. Is it boring to some? Yes, very boring, but I find it very compelling. And maybe that's just how I was brought up, but that's music. So now that we've answered the question, what is music? We have to look at, is silence music? Like, that's an interesting question. Perhaps. Maybe not. But this one composer, John Cage, wrote a piece called 433, where he just sits down at the piano for 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. And I will say, on any listening quizzes that you might have for music theory, that would be very difficult to identify, or very easy to identify. I do know my composition professor at one point in his I think it was his doctoral program, or maybe his undergrad program, but for his recital, he did on his program, he had written 14 minutes of silence. And since it was a prank, sort of. And some people left the recital hall because of that. But, I mean, hey, yeah, that's art. Yeah, it's hard because music is an art. It's not the ultimate art. You have, for instance, art in and of itself, drawing, painting, and these convey messages. I really love, and poetry. Poetry is also a very key role. Um, well, this is our first lesson. Went a little less smooth than I thought it would, but I hope you'll join for next time at lesson 2 of Music Theory 0.